to Divine Horses to Humans. I'm Jason J. Divine, the dyslexic horse guy. So, yeah, dyslexic, neurodiverse. So, I think outside the box. I don't think in a straight line. I think that way, or even that way. So, I'm here to try and educate people, especially in the British equine industry, that there's a hole in the British equine industry with horses on the ground, with a thing called a foundation. Education, severely being looked over, and we need to understand to let the horse use the brain more, so we have to use the reins less. But there again, I like to work smarter, so I don't have to work so hard. But the British equine industry seems to want to work harder, so it makes them look smarter. So we'll start off with a call of action. Go Google what the sympathetic nervous system is and cortisol. And while you're there, Google a name called Dr. Stefan Peters, right? And then drop a comment down here. So let's get the boring bit out of the way. Like, comment, share, subscribe, run and tell a friend, and that. Whoa, hold on, right? So I hate doing that. I hate hearing it, right? Because, well, I'm going to compare it to, if I keep doing the same thing over and over and over and over again, I'm going to keep getting the same results. And that results is going to be you skipping over it, right? Because you're like, oh God, here he goes. And, right, because you're going to get bored of it, right? And this is exactly what happens to horses. They keep doing the same thing over and over and over. Horses get bored of it because they're not actually letting them increase their dendrites in their brain, because they don't understand about the sympathetic nervous system and cortisol. They just run the same program. So me going like, comment, share, subscribe, that's me running the same program all the time. If I stand there going, oh, I'm sorry about that, I'm sorry about that, I'm sorry about that, and I keep saying it to you, eventually the words are going to become absolutely worthless, isn't it? So the more you drag on horses, the more you kick on horses, the more you beat on horses, it starts to become more and more less effective and more worth it, and that's when they start to fight back, or lock up, or blow up, as the industry gives them all these terms, but basically some kind of human, that we are a predator, they're a prey animal, has literally broken them mentally, and probably broken them physically, because Peleda's prime example of that. So let's crack on. So let's talk about the sympathetic nervous system and cortisol. If you're suffering with anxiety around horses, fearful of horses, this, that, you need to go and check it out, and you need to go and learn about it in yourself, in human beings. So what we're going to do is we're going to play with the ball of death over there, right, because there's another piece of equipment I use, and here we are on the incorrect side, right? I'm on the right side, okay? And why is that? Because the way I think, and I think outside the box, I'm like, hold on, why is everybody doing it from the left-hand side, where not carrying a sword? I'm not a warrior, I'm not a knight, and I don't carry a sword. Totally get it, you've got a sword, I get it. Right, but there again, I don't really get it, because in polo, and I've spent a long time in that they have to get on both sides of the horse. So this is the polo pony that's waiting to go and play the game. I'm coming riding in, I'm the polo player, so I dismount from the left, come across here, and I mount this horse to the right, because it's the fastest way to do it, right? Because I've got to get back out into the game. And now if I was to follow tradition, I'd have to go unmount, and then I'd have to go all the way around here to get to the correct side. It just costs myself time and my team time. So tradition goes out the window. But you do see it with certain individuals that do it like that. They haven't quite worked it out. So I'm working from the right side, right? Because like I said, go against tradition. I watch what everybody else is doing and do completely different. So you want a horse to do this, right? I haven't moved this horse, right? I haven't run around. We've come straight out the round pen, and this is what we want, right? Go down, relax, this is what you want. And like, when you get up on a horse, you should do this every time before you go off. You can see how she just literally feels it on the rope. That's why I use a heavy rope, because she follows it, look. So if she's supple through her spine, old bad manners, and we are in the round pen with Divine and talking about that, Divine and the time, 9:05, 4th of July. So happy Thanksgiving to all you North Americans out there. Excuse me. Don't work in human time. That's one of the first things I ever sort of learnt, right? Because if you run around like a headless chicken because you're trying to get everything done in 5 minutes, because you've only got 5 minutes, it can take you all day with horses. If you run around like you've got all day, it'll only take you 5 minutes. And there's a lot of truth to it. So when I worked in the polo industry, I used to do this stuff on the ground with a professional polo player, with him doing stuff in the saddle, and we used to get we got some really great results. Our second year together, we played 34 tournaments and we won 32 as the professional on the field. 2 professional polo ponies, the other 4 were green polo ponies. So this all works because you can sort out a lot of things by getting out of their way, taking the rider out of the equation, taking the bridle off, taking the saddle off, everything. All right, so if you're new to horses get a sticky side, as they call it, right? From my experience, that's the right hand side, pretty much set to the left. She's going through a pretty tight gap down there. Maybe I should set it up there, and then you can see. So they need to work the right more than the left, but the right side is where all trouble turns up. More trouble turns up on the right than the left. And the simple reason that happens, because they've got a very small frontal lobe. But when you use their sympathetic nervous system and you understand cortisol in horses, you can get an awful lot done, because horses learn through their sympathetic nervous system. So what happens, they increase the thing in their brain called dendrites. So what happens is, you know, if you look at the word horsemanship, that I think is a bit twisted in this country, because it means to me the horse comes first, then the man, and then it's about going on a journey, right? Why a journey? Because of that ship bit, and you get on a ship to go from A to B on a journey. But I won't use that word horsemanship because it's so twisted. Because I've seen people that have said they're horsemen. Right, she's looked at it, so I'm going to go the other side now. That they're horsemen, and what they're doing to the horse is just damn right diabolical, being a bully, or a horsewoman just being a bully. There's no psychology in it. There's no, you know, working with horses makes you a better person. Working with horses teach you true leadership. But first, to be a leader, you have to learn to be a follower. And horses are really good at following as well as leading. Like Divine is the leader of our little herd here. And basically, Polida changes from leader to follower, from follower to a leader. Naranka, very rare, becomes a leader. She's a follower. She just wants a quiet life. Because horses communicate through body language. Nipping, biting, pinned ears, driving their head down, bucking at each other. Being a horse, not a human being. And it's time for people to understand there's a different way, a softer way and a better way. Right, and if you're just finding this boring and going, you know, what is he doing? He's just doing the same. That's your problem. You're too fast to get to the destination. Now she's going through a gap that's that wide, right? So I've got to tighten it up. I've got to tighten it right up and see if she can work out to push this ball out of the way. Right, then you're going to go that way. What are you going to do? How about that? How tight's that gap? Let's go and have a little measure, shall we? And this is what I'm telling you. That wide. Right? That's our pressure. Doesn't belong to the horse, that belongs to us. Right, she's a little bit fast that way, but I ain't got a problem with it. But you can see how she's gone a bit high-headed. Because she's like, oh shit, oh, I don't know what to do. Cortisol turning up, the fear. Right, we're the ultimate predator. Right? She is the ultimate prey animal. Right? Ultimate predator, because we shoot things, we eat meat, we use leather, and so much more. We take pictures of dead animals just for a picture. We go and shoot animals and we pay somebody else to go and shoot. Ultimate predator, ultimate prey animal. So we need to start acting more like partners and not predators. Because that's the other part to this. It's about putting the relationship into it. So she's like, oh, I want to come in. I'm like, right, come in. Because now we're working as a team, right? But like I said to you, you've got to understand that there's points in a team where you have to work as I and not we. So motorsport, when the driver's in the vehicle, in the car, he has to work as I, because the team's on the outside. So American football, American quarterback, he catches the ball, doesn't he? He goes back and he has to make the decision. He's working as an I, but he's doing it for the greatest of the team, because the rest of the team are trying to protect him or get into the point where they can get to the ball to score a goal. So you have to go from I to we, and that's basically leader, follower, follower, leader, follower, leader, right? So if you work in a team with leaders, right, that leader will go, oh, you're more specialised at this, you can take the lead and I'll step off a point. But a leader will listen to all the suggestions. They won't just tell you what to do and tell you how to do it. And that's what's the problem. British equine industry is full of people that want to work harder to make themselves look smarter, because they make you want to think that it's all rocket science, yeah? That, you know, do certain British horse organisations, remember, like, they actually send rockets to the moon, remember that? So now we're just setting up a little bit more of a pressure, and I wanted to go out. So thought processes go backwards. Now I want you to go that way. So direction, support. But in my head, I have an idea and a clear goal of where I want to go. And that's really important. And like I said, we are increasing dendrites, sympathetic nervous system. So, right, she took the option out of going between the fence and the cone, but she took the option of going over the the tarp, right? That's all very good, right? So if you're in a scenario where you've got a horse that needs to go over a water jump, you could start it like that, right? Because if they walk over it, it means to calm, right? And British equine industry, they just think it's about the faster you go and the faster the horse moves, the faster everything's going to get done. And it doesn't really work like that, because the slower you go, right, and the slower you can get them to go, the calmer you can get them to be, right, I don't want that really, right, you're going to get an awful lot more done at walk than you are at everything else. So I'm going to push her on a bit because she's going a little bit too fast, right? See the, the collection, poke nose in. And she slows down and walks through it. Mate, you need to walk through it that way. No, that's not what I want. That's not what we want. No, there you go, go on, through you go. Investigating it. And this is what you want. You want them to investigate it. No? But now the ball's loose. So she dealt with it. So I want you to I want you to back it up and I want you to go and look at it. So over the top again. Intention, thought, always watching her feet. Always watching her feet. I'm not watching her head, I'm not. Right, so she's dealt with that. Now I'm going to stop and turn her back the other way. Go on, no, go on in. So there you go. Right, so I'm going to go, right. So if we were to practice that over and over, right, each day a little bit, and then a little bit more each day, and a little bit more, right, we're going to come really, really good at it. Because that's what you want. It's about the relationship. So if you look, right, at our feet are keyed up. So if I turn, right, because we're sort of mirroring each other now, right, she turns with me. So if I can get her to follow me through this, so I'm going to go here through the tight one, and I'm going to go, come on. No, no, over there. No, I don't want that. Right, you go sideways a bit. Now you're going to disengage. Now you're going to come up here. No, don't want that. I want you to back it up. You back it up. I want you to back it up. Back it up. Okay, then we'll go the long way. We'll go the long way. She's looking for an answer. Back up, back up, back up, back up. So if I don't get what I want that direction, I just come at it from a different direction. And then I get it, I walk away. The more you can walk away and just like the value of doing nothing, right, is huge. But no, here in the British Equine Industry, oh no, we've got to have all our poles set out, we've got to keep them in collection all the time, bend them into shape, and we've just got to constantly go at it. Repetition, 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 repetition. Because it does not work. Because eventually they're just like, oh, I'm done with this, I ain't doing this no more. I'm not doing this no more. And then they lock up, or they just get you off. Because the secret to it, and you cannot do this enough with horses, because I've got that, right, I should just go and stand and do completely nothing. But if I was just to stand here and do completely nothing, everybody would be going, well, what are you doing? You can't just stand there doing nothing. Well, yeah, there's a huge value to it. Because if you've never watched horses out in fields and they're all stood there like this and they're all like cock leg, swishing the tail every now and again and flicking the flies off. Survival mode, right? Stockpiling energy for when it does go wrong, when trouble turns up. Because there's a huge value in doing nothing. But they can't understand that in the British equine industry. When I went and worked in polo, I worked with a South American guy. And the biggest thing he taught me was mañana, mañana. And if you know Spanish, you'll know that that means tomorrow, tomorrow. And relax, Jason, relax, relax. And he used to say to me, didn't speak very good English, And he said to me, Jason, you need to understand, this is not British equine yard. Don't work like that round here. You need to slow down, right? Not as in, but just, because I was like, oh, I've got to have them all mucked out and all the water done and fed and this, that and the other by 10 o'clock. And he was like, no. We go and ride when they're ready to be ridden. And I was like, right, okay. So I started to get this and I started to understand it and I started to see the value in it. Because when you're a groom in polo and you're not really a groom, you are a horse person, yeah? You have to be. You start to have to lead 6 to 8 horses out, for example, in the British equine industry. Oh, you can only lead 2 horses out, and then they want you to do everything from the left. And this is what else I don't understand. They want you to lead a horse out to the left, but you can only lead 2 at a time. So this horse is on my left, this horse is on my right. So how can I lead them out on the left 2 at a time? And I'd ask this, and I'd just get screamed and shouted at. That'd be stupid. But you told me you only lead horses from the left, and you lead them short, and you only lead a maximum of 2. How can I lead 2 horses from the left? I can't. Like I said, I struggle with my left and right. That's why I have a watch on there, because I know it's my left. I've got a visual aid, and I struggle with it. I always get it wrong. That's why a lot of the time you see me landing on the right-hand side, because I'm very right-brained, yeah? Because I'm neurodiverse, dyslexic. So, let's back up. Back up. Right, I want your bottom over. Right, so in polo, I would have to literally lead 8 horses out. So I'd use rope halters and decent lead ropes, and I'd have to lead 8 horses out, and probably have a wheelbarrow with 4 saddles in it, numbers, bandages, right? And then I'd be like that. I'd have 4 in that hand, and everybody would be fine, right? And my job is to go and get horses down to the field, just for the polo player to change. So he will tell me what horses he wants, this, that, and the other. So what you're part of the herd. You're there to look after them, right? So they come off, you strip them off, you hose them down, and then you let them go and stand with the mates. Everybody's quite happy. And there's a lot to be learnt out of that. And why is there a lot to be learnt out of that? Because you become a part of the herd. And you become like this mirror man with them. I moved too much then. You become this mirror man. So, you know, what's going on here? If you think you know about energy riding horses, this is how you'd have to be more conscious of your energy. No, I don't want the dominance. Don't give me dominance to get after you. See that flicking of the head and nose? That's dominance. Some of the best mares are like this. Very dominant, very mouthy, but they're very clever. Right, I need you to go and walk through it. I just need you to walk through it. Oh, see, she nearly slipped over, but she dealt with it. And that sort of stuff happens. This is where you want horses to deal with it. Investigate it. Let her investigate, and I'm going to let her walk over it. Right, and then I'm just going to, you've got to just walk away. The value of doing nothing. So it's going back to this polo gig, right? And the more we did what we did, and the more we looked at it like we looked at it, right? And the thing about this polo player, he didn't take it all very seriously. He loved horses, right? And his horses were the main concern, but he didn't take it quite seriously. But what he did discover, that he could take somebody mentally out of a game by basically winding them up, getting them to lose their temper, getting them to go and row with another player or whatever, yeah? because then he knew the horse would leave. The mental connection was gone. And he'd do this to a lot of players and they could never understand. Never lost his temper. He would just literally laugh. I watched him miss a penalty that a child could have got, yeah? And he just laughed about it. And people were like, why does he laugh about it? He doesn't take it very serious. And I was saying, that's exactly right. He doesn't take it very seriously, and that's why he's good at it. Because he knew horses picked it up. Because we get very angry and primal. Horses don't do that, they just run away. Simple. It's us that's taught them to fight. The fight is the last option. So yeah, there you go. I'm on the wrong side, going against tradition. And as I said, if you carry a sword, I can understand it. But you don't. You don't carry a sword. So why are you doing it? Because that's exactly why everybody else does it. Exactly the same as everybody else does it. So that's the thing. They just keep doing the same thing, get the same result. And if it all goes wrong, what we can do, we can blame the barrel, the sticks, the flags, the drum, the cones, the tarp, or we could actually blame Jason, or we could just go, oh, no, it's the horse. It's the horse's fault. Horse has got a problem. So we'll just sell that one on, blatantly lie about it, and go buy another one and completely mess that one up. And this other thing I'm going to say, there's no such thing as a bomb-proof horse. No such thing. There's always 2%. There's always 2% of the prey animal will always be there. Always. You trust them 98%, but you keep 2% back for the prey animal. So that one, like I said, thanks for hanging out this far. Really appreciate it. Thank you. You're a superstar. Go check out Sympathetic Nervous System. Go check out Dr. Stephan Peters. Go check out Cortisol, and you're going to learn an awful lot, and it's going to give you a huge tool for your tool bag. And the British equine industry needs to start putting foundations into horses. So that one, we'll catch you all in the next episode.